YouTube is just giving out more stuff for me to talk about. Not just YouTube, social media in general. Now, you guys know Vince McMahon has been the talk of the town as of late. Not just Vince McMahon. Hodge Twins uploaded a video a few days ago that I'm going to review. And then to top it all off, Dragon Ball Daima dropped a trailer with Goku, as well as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero dropped some gameplay. And I'm going to talk about the Dragon Ball thing together in their own videos here. But this video here is exclusively about Jim Cornette, Brian Last, and their take on the whole Vince McMahon situation. Now, before anyone thinks now I'm going to talk about Jim Cornette in a bad way, no. I actually enjoy his content. I'm a big wrestling fan. Like I said, I grew up going to a sport tournament in Dallas. I've been watching wrestling for years. I'm almost 40, so about 35 years. So, of course, I wasn't around the 70s. I'm an 80s baby, so trust me, wrestling runs in the family. I have a brother that's wrestling in the independent circuit, so I'm a big wrestling fan. I'll just leave it alone at that. Vince McMahon, the whole case is out now. And I'm going to be honest. I said it in a live stream. I said it on a video when the shit first started percolating. I said all that then. I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't blame Vince McMahon. And y'all might say, what? It takes two to tango. All right? And I'm sorry I'm washing clothes in the distance. It takes two to tango. Okay? Vince McMahon hired a young lady who was down on her luck, who lost both her parents, pretty much bankrupt. A lot was going on, okay? And when people are desperate for money, they'll sell their souls to the devil. All this is about money, okay? I understand where Jim and Brian is coming from, and I'm going to link their whole spiel down below. But I want you all to understand something. Every one of us done did some crazy shit in the bedroom, okay? Every last one of us. From either giving your significant other facials to having orgies. We all got certain kinks. Every last one of us. We all done tried some kinky shit, okay? Now, I understand the shit that was read in this document that was released by the court in this lawsuit. Because once again, it really stems about money. This all came out. If she would got paid the amount that Vince promised her, this wouldn't have came out. At least I don't think so. This wouldn't have came out. This is a lady that's mad as fuck because she was promised $3 million and only got $1 million. So now she's willing to sue and put out all this dirty laundry and is painting Vince McMahon as the bad guy. She could have said no many times. And there was a time in there where apparently she said no. And Vince, in his own sick mind, was telling John Laurinaitis, asshole whose wife had cancer during this time when he was fucking around, right? You know, that no means yes. Now, if that actually happened, the moment that session ended, she should have went and filed rape charges. Because she said no to whatever was going on, and Vince and them kept it going. Okay? Her being passed around like a prostitute, that's on her. She could have at any time turned that down. She could have at any time went and brought this public. Fuck an NDA. She had all the text messages. She could have been done this. You know why this is coming out now? It's not because so much she want the whole $3 million. Vince McMahon company merged with UFC and became this TKO glomerate. There was a lot more money at stake for Vince. It's kind of like how Bill Cosby was bought by NBC a few years ago, and then all of a sudden his students sued him. And then it settled out of court, but then he was, again, brought back up on the same charges. And, you know, double jeopardy, Richard Washington, the state of Ohio. But point is, they settled out of court, and then, what's her name, Constantine, what the fuck her name is, went with a new attorney general and then tried to bring Bill Cosby down. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, this shit is just, it's all about money. I understand the stuff we read in there is fucking disturbing. I get it. Vince McMahon defecating on a motherfucker. Brock Lesnar apparently wanted piss videos. Fucking John Laurinaitis and them just having a gangbang orgy, her picture being passed around throughout the company. And I mean, everything from, what was it, 15 years? It was a lot of shit. But I'm going to say it again. We all done been on Pornhub before. We all done been on X videos. We all done seen some type of pornography. There is some graphic shit in certain forms, okay? But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to paint Vince off to be the bad guy. And listen, I understand Donald Trump's situation, the E.G. Carroll situation. That was a money grab too. Because it seems like she waited until he started his election campaign to try to bring him down. And I'm not a Trump supporter, by no means. I think Trump isn't fit to be president. I don't care about how well his economic standards was back then. Let's face it, Barack Obama, who was fucking an idiot too in some circumstances, all right, gave him an economy that has started back thriving. The only thing Donald Trump did was actually build off of that, but he did some questionable shit. I know it's going to piss off some of you Trump fans, but right is right, wrong is wrong, and I think Donald Trump got fucked in his situation too. I understand the New York SS tape that was leaked about him being a billionaire and groping women and all that, but that still shouldn't be enough evidence for E.G. Carroll, who had won, I think, $14 million last year and got a whopping $83 million. Now she's gonna be like $100 million, give or take. So it's wrong for men to have sex. It's pretty much what this boils down to. And once again, if Donald Trump actually raped her in the 90s, how come she ain't saying that in the fucking 90s? Money. Donald Trump's about to be the most powerful man in America again. So you try to bring him down. You try to tarnish that man's legacy. I mean, he already has a fucked up legacy. I mean, Donald Trump did some things that pretty much put him in this situation. And all presidents got some type of fucked up spot on their record. I'm not even gonna talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden did a whole bunch of fucked up, stupid bullshit. But at the end of the day, this is the same situation with Vince McMahon's accuser. And honestly, if you have a lot of money, you better be very wary of how you spend it. If you're willing to sell your soul for sex, for money, then that's a you problem. She could have been a woman and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't give a fuck how wealthy you are. I'm not going to deprave myself like that. I'm not going to lower my standards down just because you got some fantasies and you want me to be your call girl. Fuck that. But this happens all the time in the world of entertainment, in the world of sports. If you just got a lot of fucking money, you have to be careful, because women and men, if a woman has a lot of money, they can buy men. You got some men that sit there and just lower their standards and submit, and then 20 years down the line, well, I was fucking just did so bad by this woman. She sexually scarred me. There's a few men that have done that because women have money. They were willing to sell their soul for that money. And then the moment that woman cut them off, that was this so wrong. I couldn't sleep. I had dating problems. All because of money. Money. And this is what this is all about. Money. It's not so much she's pressing charges to get him locked up. It's because Vince McMahon didn't pay her $3 million. If he would pay the $3 million, maybe a little bit more, she wouldn't have said a word. She wouldn't have said a word. But since Vince is under his end, she's exposing every goddamn thing. And people are like, oh my God, Vince is a sexual sadist and this. And once again, at any point in time, she said no and Vince kept up doing what he was doing, she should have went that same day to the local police station and had his ass locked up for rape. I don't give a fuck if he Vince McMahon or not. You should, all this, I'm scared, and you ain't scared. You wasn't scared, because you were having sex with this man. Oh, no. So ain't that you scared. It ain't that you scared. You were scared that you wasn't going to get your money. You could have took him to jail for rape and then sued shit out of him. So anyway, that's my take. And I'm not saying Brian Last or Vince McMahon, I'm not Vince McMahon, Brian Last or Jim Cornette said anything wrong. I understand they have sponsors, and they made a video to kind of clean up what happened when they were doing a live stream of one of their podcasts, and then the news broke and they started laughing about some of the shit that was being said. And a lot of people gave them backlash for that. And of course, they have sponsors. They have a lot more to lose. So of course, they had to make an apology video, but then they gave their honest opinion. I'm like this here. Some of this shit will make you laugh. I mean, She sat there and let a man shit on her fucking head. I would be surprised with some piss play in there, some shit, you know? Like I say, you know, she was agreeing to something. She said it's consensual, so you can't really sue him for sexual assault unless that one incident happened. And then you might have a legitimate case. But if I'm a prosecutor, I'm gonna be looking at you like, why didn't you report this that day? You wasn't afraid of the man. You kept having sex with him, so it ain't like you was afraid of him. Why didn't you go and say anything? Was it because you wanted the money? It's money. Straight money. So that's my take. You guys go watch Jim Cornette and Brian Last take on it. It was a good hour listen. They made some good points. Vince hiring the old crew back, and of course we know him and Johnny Laurinaitis are like two brothers in the room together. You know, well, I ain't gonna say brothers like blood related, but I'm talking about bros that like to share bitches. You know, that's how they get their rocks off. They pass girls between one another, and that's been going on for years. So when John Laurinaitis came back on the scene, it should have been a lot of red flags then. So, and John Laurinaitis can suck the fattest dick he can find because his wife had cancer during this time he was doing this stupid depraved shit, still being by his wife's side. That's some shit right there. If anybody need their ass dumped out, it's Johnny Ace. For real. John Laurinaitis. But whatever. Maybe Daniel Bryan will knock him the fuck out. You know, the Bella twins, that is their stepdad. So, hey, I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real to you and telling you how the fuck it is. You guys have a good one, and I'm out, everyone. Peace.